The passion never stopped, and right now I stand around 22,840 games roughly. Hi, my name is Antonio Romero Montero. I hold the Guinness World Record for the largest video game collection in the world.
You should not turn your room into GameStop or CEX if you're UK with games you are not going to play or games you have no intention of ever replaying. And finally, a game you have not finished. I see so many of these other YouTubers and I think to myself, why would anyone want to turn their rooms with all this materialistic stuff into the next GameStop shop, you know? You have no intention of returning to ever play some of this stuff. And I own a lot of games, but I don't own third-party games across 3 different consoles. I have Minecraft on my PlayStation, and I have the Java edition on my PC. Okay, those are 2 different versions. But, other than that, if you are someone who owns the Switch version, the Wii U version, the PS Vita version, heck, get a refund on the Pocket Edition version on your mobile phone. Man, that's just overindulgence because you're tied down to the memories you've had of that game as a kid. And if anyone's played the Nintendo Switch version of Minecraft, that thing sucks. Yes, I owned it at one point, but I had to look myself in the mirror and say, I need to get rid of this. I never use it. I barely even use the Switch. I use it just to play Splatoon and Mario Kart and occasional local multiplayers with my friends occasionally. But this is over the top. Even Mystic Ryan made a video about selling some of his stuff a while back, and that kind of inspired me to make this video. I sold Mortal Kombat 1. It was my first ever Mortal Kombat. I never looked back when I got rid of it. I liked the visuals and everything about that game, but I didn't touch it in months and it was not a good game overall. No memorable music, no playing training mode while you wait for a match. The gameplay just felt so stiff. And honestly, it was a wrap. I had to sell that one. What next? Stellar Blade. Whew, this game is hot garbage. I don't know what the hype is for this game. It is boring as hell. Got to some deserty part of the game and got so bored. Sold Evil Dead the game because the game is dead. Or at least the game is gonna die. I can't really get any killer games anymore on there, so... And I don't really want to play Survivor too much. I kind of got bored of that. But yeah. I had to sell Sonic Frontiers because the last decent Sonic game was Sonic Forces, and I say decent in quotation marks, but the best of the best for me will always be Unleashed and Colors, and Sonic Rivals and Rivals 2 on the PSP. Those games, those are the best Sonic games, man. If you know, you know. Then I don't even know why I had Watch Dogs 2 for so long. Like, I probably could have sold that to CEX way longer and got more money out of it, but man, I was telling myself, yeah, I could beat this game. I could barely get past the prologue. And once I did, I got bored. I said, let me go back to GTA. What is this? This game is so difficult. Oh, man. But I still own my Pokemon games from the DS and 3DS era. Didn't bother upgrading past that. I mean, Pokemon Diamond, Black, Black 2, X, and Omega Ruby. Those are the only Pokemon games I'm ever gonna play and replay ever. Every other Pokemon game is not really worth my time, to be honest. I don't really want to check out the new Switch games. I'm not into Pokemon like that anymore. They ruined it with removing the gym leaders and the anime. They changed Ash to look like this to this. They added Z-moves, got a Mega Evolution for this. And I'm just like... And then I see these games coming at 30 FPS? And you want me to buy a Switch 2 just to play this? Nah, man. Nah, I'm good. Not interested in Switch 2 or the new Pokemon games in general. Definitely though, when Ash stopped looking like this, I knew it was over for Pokemon. I knew it was just gonna be downhill. Yeah, maybe one of these days I'll give Sun and Moon a chance on the 3DS, but no Gym Leader, no Mega Evolution. Sorry man, I'm alright man. Let me stop ranting about Pokemon. I'll be here all day. This video will take way too long. I had to sell Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and the other one because that Sephiroth boss fight was taking a toll on my mental, man. And I was forcing myself to enjoy the gameplay up until that point. Same for the other one, man. Like, I liked Final Fantasy 16 for what it was. I mean, it was just a big cinematic movie, basically, but I did like the big boss fights, the Power Ranger Mega Sword style fights. Now, Expedition 33, Ghost of Yote, Invincible Versus, Split Fiction. Those are some games those are about 4 games I've bought in the past 400 days, I'd like to say. I don't regret getting these games. I've been replaying them every now and then. They're not gonna get no disc rot or whatever. I'm looking after humidity in my room. I'm not gonna get no cobwebs everywhere. It's just, and it just does something to you mentally, you know? Like, when you have more, you have less. And when you have less, you have more. And I'm not just meaning that like spiritually, less materialistic possessions or whatever, but just when picking options, you know, you find you'll actually pick an option when you have less options. If you have the whole shop in your room, what do these types of people even play? Most people walk into a restaurant and don't know what to pick because there's so many options on the menu. I can't believe everyone is excited for GTA 6, but half of them most likely have never finished GTA 5. Heck, some haven't even finished GTA 4 and yet praise it like it's the Jesus of the Grand Theft Auto series. To finish off, my only reason I'm keeping my OG copy of things like Mario Kart DS, my first ever Mario Kart, even though I've played Mario Kart 7 way more and still replay it more to this day, is because I think it would be cute seeing my future child on the game when they turn 7 years old. So in terms of longevity, nothing lasts. Apparently some of these 3DS games, they're rotting and some of these discs just aren't working anymore. I don't know how people store their games. We store it in some hot rooms or something. Their parents' basements or something. But yeah, even physical copies, when they stop making them in these factories or however they're made, it's like there's not going to be some left, and the ones that are going to be left are going to be rotted, you know? That's the thing people need to remember. When it comes to game preservation, you're only preserving the game for you. If you're keeping something in your room that you're not using, and it's like, get rid of it. It's just that simple. Do you want the game, or did you want it when you were younger or something, and like a Lego game or something? There was a whole bunch of Lego games I wanted when I was a kid. Now I'm just don't want a single one. I mean, I got Lego City Undercover a couple years back and I've replayed that twice and I still like it. It's the only Lego game, trust me, it's the only Lego game I'm getting. All the others, I'm just not interested in Lego games. And I really wanted the Lego Movie video games back then. We all had a game we wanted as a kid, but you know, could you afford to get it? For me, it was Kid Icarus on the 3DS. Man, now I see it priced so highly on eBay, I think to myself, like, I don't know, I just think twice before getting a kid's game I never played when I'm gonna be 23 next year March. It's a lot different for me when I grew up playing Mario games like the new Super Mario Bros. Series, but I don't want to play Odyssey. My first ever Pokemon game was Pokemon Black version. I went back and played Diamond, but I'm not gonna go even further back to Gen 2 and 1. I didn't own a Game Boy, I'm a 2000s kid. I've heard great things about Kid Icarus, but you know, I don't know, man. Just not gonna hit the same, you know? I love Super Mario 3D Land. I don't think it would hit the same now if this was my first time playing it. Trust me. There is a famous quote.
We're so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
There's always gonna be games I go back and replay. I'm not a holier than thou, I'm just being realistic. Most of us lose sight and get too attached to things we don't actually like. Some of us have been getting games like, you know, I mentioned earlier Black Myth Wukong, and I'm so glad I sold that game so fast. Wuchang Fallen Feathers, I did not get that one, but woo this, woo that, bro. Get out these Souls-like rubbish out here, man. I'm not interested in all of that, man. I'd rather go back and replay Star Wars Jedi, new games. Those were way more fun. Give me back with Star Wars Battlefront 2, man. I'd rather replay that than that new Star Wars Outlaws rubbish, whatever that was. I'd love to hear what you guys say in the comments about all this. This is just my opinion as always.